So these are what we call the hero's journey. But here's the thing. It's not Harry's wand that makes him the greatest wizard. It's not Luke Skywalker's saber that makes him the greatest Jedi of all time. And it's not Eminem's microphone that makes him the best MC rapper of all time. Are you with me? It's the journey that each of these people have gone on in order to become the hero of their own story. So with every good story, I see it like a sandwich. We've got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So, I wanted to introduce you to a concept or structure called the customer or the hero's journey, which has a beginning, it has a middle, and then we have the end. So, the beginning of every story, what we want to do is define this person's name, their role, the company, and their industry they're working at. What doesn't really work is if I came to John Huckabee and I said, "Hey, John, working with a company called Microsoft, and this is what they did with us." John Huckabee may not be able to connect with a logo or a name of a company because it just sounds like another company. But if I said to you, John, I was working with a head of SDR called John Mason, and this guy was working in an AI CX platform. John Huckabee might be able to connect with John Mason because he now has a name and he has a role. So at the
Mhm.
beginning of the story, you always say the person's name and what their role was. And the other piece that we could do is bring in the industry. So we could say from AI, from customer experience, from HR and payroll. We want to give like the beginning of that character. So once we have the name of the person, the other person on the other side can start building a picture of who this person is at the beginning of a story. Then what we want to do is take them on a bit of a journey where we talk about the middle, which is the pain. And here's a funny thing. Hands up if you've ever heard of Love Island or Big Brother. Okay.
Um,
We have, right? The reason we like watching these shows is we like seeing other people have bad things happen in their life and things messed up. We're really weird like that as humans. We like to see other people bomb. And this is why we watch soaps and dramas. We love drama. So, what we do, we bring this person emotionally into the pain of this existing life. So, if I give an example, John Mason was trying to build out an SDR team. He was looking for best practices with sequencing. He wasn't getting any replies. Meetings were on the down, and he had the head of sales breathing down his neck, saying, "If you don't fix this, you're out of a job." And what we do is we bring the prospect to the pain and drama and the emotions, as John said, we bring them to the emotional state of what was going on with this person. And then what we want to do is then bring them to a new world, but without mentioning a tool, a wand, a lightsaber, or microphone. We then say along the lines of John working through a new process, he was able to optimize his sequences and he was getting a 50% reply rate. He was able to book 30 meetings month on month. His team finally believed in this thing called outbound. And at the end of the quarter, John got a promotion to VP of Sales Development. So if we bring this all together, the beginning is the name of the person, their role, so we can identify and relate to them. We then bring them down to an emotional pain of this was life before, and this is how hard it was for the hero in the story. And then we bring them up to the beginning, with the end of it, by saying, this is what this person achieved, this was the feeling they had, and this was the outcome. And the natural thing to say at the end of that is, well, that's John Mason's story. What's your story, John Huckabee?